Welcome to the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 7 minutes. My name is Jeremy Poock, and I lead Senior Attorney Match. In today's In 7 Minutes, we'll discuss the top 3 lessons learned in 2023 for law firm sales. So, in terms of those top 3 lessons, let's jump right into it. Lesson number one that we learned in 2023 is that internal successors to senior attorney led practices, they really only want a job and they don't want to own a business. In terms of the two options that come out of that lesson learned, option number one is that a senior attorney can just stay in his or her status quo. That is, remain with that internal successor that doesn't want to purchase your business and can't afford to purchase your business and remain in status quo. What we find there, though, is that the revenues actually continue to go down because that status quo is really a matter of complacency. And it also raises a risk for what we call Random Tuesday, because at some point, your internal successor who really wants only a job will walk down the hallway, come into your office on, again, that Random Tuesday and let you know that, geez, I decided to take another job and I'm giving you now 2 or 4 weeks notice. In terms of the other option that senior attorneys have is to consider joining a growing law firm. Because even though your internal successor does not want to purchase your law practice, who does? Growing law firms that practice in the same areas as the senior attorney practices, they want not only that all important book of business that you have, right? Your clients, they actually also very much want your would be internal successor. That is, your lawyer staff, your non lawyer staff, and the senior attorneys, because they represent the cumulative experience that you all have to continue representing not only your clients, but the clients of a growing law firm. And together, you also all present marketing value in today's 3.0 digital era. Senior attorneys and their would be successors, when they join growing law firms, we're finding that they present all types of content that they can provide to those growing law firms to help those firms attract even more clients. In terms of lesson number two that we've learned in 2023 is that trust transfer works. That is, when our clients join growing law firms, what we call the flux capacitor of the sale of senior attorney led practices is that senior attorneys are transferring the trust of their clients to the lawyers at the law firms that they join. And that trust transfer works in 3 different ways. The first way the trust transfer happens is in person. That is, in a conference room, out for lunch, out for breakfast, over drinks. Senior attorney is in person introducing longtime clients that trust the senior attorney to lawyers at the law firm that the senior attorney joins. More and more, as we are now in this digital world, trust transfer is happening over Zoom. What used to happen in the conference room can now happen on screen. Senior attorney can really be anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, get onto a Zoom meeting and transfer that trust from the senior attorney to the lawyers at the law firm that the senior attorney has joined. And then the third way that's done is via social media. That is, not even having a face-to-face, whether in person or digital interaction with the client. It's done via social media. Our clients are regularly now introducing their clients to the firms that they join via constant contact, via e-newsletters, via LinkedIn connections, Facebook posts, podcast appearances, where their clients, that is the senior attorney's clients, are getting to know the lawyers and the law firms that senior attorneys join via all types of social media interaction without even the involvement face to face, in person, or digitally between the senior attorney and those lawyers at the law firms that they join. In terms of the benefits that the trust transfer offers to our clients, first of all, there's a financial benefit because the terms of the deals are typically based upon the senior attorneys being paid a percentage of revenues that comes in from their client base. But beyond that, in terms of the quality of life benefits, I'm just going to show here really a compare and contrast. That is, when our clients originally come to us, they're often saying that their clients only want to meet with the senior attorney. The clients trust the senior attorney, they know the senior attorney, they only want to work with the senior attorney. What we are consistently seeing is that trust transfer works because the senior attorney is able to transfer that trust to other lawyers at the firms that they join, and they find out that if the clients are going to be working with competent attorneys that have the same level of experience or even almost the same level of experience as the senior attorney has, and the senior attorney is still available by email, by jumping onto a Zoom meeting, by jumping onto a phone call, that trust transfer really works to the great benefit of senior attorneys. And then in terms of the third lesson, the the third lesson the third lesson that we've learned in 2023 is that the books of business for senior attorneys do not replenish as much as yesteryear. That book of business is crucially important when it comes to law firm sales because when it comes down to it, what is a lawyer selling? A lawyer, by and large, and what we call law firm sales 1.0, is selling the value of the clients and the referral sources, that book of business. It is not replenishing. That is, the book of business is not replenishing as much as yesteryear because senior attorneys, by and large, are not investing in digital marketing. And let's show how that is impacting new business for law firms generally. As we are now in the mid 2020s, consumers, that is clients, are searching for their lawyers digitally. Clients are going onto Google searching for lawyers just like we go onto Google for everything and anything. They're reading Google reviews of the would-be lawyers that they would hire. They're looking at their LinkedIn profiles. They are seeing how many followers that lawyers have on Facebook, their posts to Instagram, their posts on X, which we used to be Twitter. And for those lawyers that are maintaining only a website only approach and are not investing in and growing multi-channel digital media, they're just not getting as many clients as they did in yesteryear. And in terms of the impact that that is having on the value of their practices. The impact of not investing in digital value is that senior attorneys today are not replenishing their all important client list and referral source lists because they're not generating as many clients digitally as their younger competitors are. And as a result, that all important book of business is not replenishing as much as it did in yesteryear, and hence that third lesson that we learned in 2023. So, for today's buzzer beater, when it comes to the three lessons that we've learned in 2023, we'll go a little bit out of order here. The first lesson that we've learned is that your internal successors, they really only want a job and they don't want to purchase your business. And you really have two options. You can stay in the status quo, and there we're seeing that with status quo complacency, revenues actually are going to go down for your law practice, and you could be hit with what we call a random Tuesday because at some point that internal successor is going to look for and take a job at another law firm, and that is going to be at a very inopportune time for you and your law practice. The other option is that if your internal successor does not want to purchase your practice, a growing law firm wants and needs a senior attorney-led firm, which consists of your clients, your staff, your lawyer staff, that is your internal successor, and your other staff, including your non-lawyer staff, the cumulative expertise that you all provide, and the marketing value that senior attorney-led firms provide. In terms of the next lesson is that lesson number 3, which is that the book of business does not replenish as much as it did in yesteryear. And we're finding that it does not replenish as much as it did in yesteryear because for those senior attorneys that are not investing digitally in digital marketing, they are not going to be refilling their book of business with as many clients and referral sources as they did in the pre-Google era. And for that second lesson that we learned in 2023 is that trust transfer works. We regularly hear from our clients that they are transferring the trust of their clients to the lawyers at the law firms that they joined. Heard a great story from a client recently. She joined a firm about a year ago. Year over year, the revenues that came out of her book of business increased year over year from when she owned her law firm, and she practiced 90% less. And the reason why that happened is because she is consistently transferring the trust of her clients to the lawyers at the law firm that she joined. She is financially benefiting by that. So in year one, she's financially benefiting. The deal we structured for that attorney is she'll benefit for another 4 years, where the financial benefit is being driven by that all important trust transfer, what we call the flux capacitor of our model for sales of law firms. And that is the state of the market for law firm sales. And I recognize several minutes more than 7 minutes today.